Hello again. Welcome to our study. Judges chapter 7, verses 13 and 14. Strange set of verses here. It says, eaters of barley bread. Why would that be so unusual? Well, let's understand what barley is and how bad it tastes, and I guess then we'll explain this to ourselves. Well, the common bread, such as was used by the very poor and unfortunate, or in times of famine, is made of barley. The Lord fed the hungry multitude with 5 barley loaves, which belonged to a small boy. Now, barley, from what I've been told, is very, very dry, bland, awfully tasting bread. The sons of the prophets in the days of Elisha ate barley bread. Nothing was more common than for the people to complain about their oppressors had left them nothing but barley bread to eat. The Bedouins often call their enemies eaters of barley bread. The diet of the East has always been light and simple, but barley takes it to a really, really low level. The chief points of contrast between their diet and ours was the very small amount of animal food they consume and the variety of articles used with bread. But the chief point of agreement is the huge consumption of bread itself. The preparation of bread were various and simple. Sometimes fresh grains, after being carefully picked, were roasted in a pan over a fire and eaten as parched corn, in which form it was and is an ordinary article of their diet. Women in Syria make bread in a great many times. First, they made a fire of withered vine branches, which are laid upon the hearth, and the bread, being spread out with the hands like a pancake, was baked over this. Each cake was exceedingly thin and could be rolled up and placed in the mouth all at once, if you like barley, that is. Well, sometimes they made unleavened wafers, anointed with oil, which were baked in a plate or pan, and likely the cakes which Sarah made upon the hearth of the 3 angels were of this kind. We find that in Genesis chapter 18. Sometimes the grain was bruised and dried in the sun, then eaten, either mixed with oil or made into soft cakes. Now, this dough of the Old Testament. The common people have little other food other than dura bread, which consists of a sort of coarse millet kneaded with camel's milk, oil, butter, and grease. Yeah, I know what you're thinking. You've lost your appetite. Yeah, I understand. Well, the best bread, such as was used in the sacred offering, was always made of wheat, and then ground and sifted, formed a fine powder used in the offering. The ground but unsifted wheat would answer to the flour and meal of Judges 6 and verse 19. Each household possessed such an article except the very poor, when one oven sufficed for several families. It was heated with dried twigs, grass, and thorns. The bread is to be baked, was placed both inside and out. So we see a very simple people with a very simple diet, a very, very bland diet. No sugar and no sweets, if you will, nothing but dried barley bread. It's no wonder they dipped it in some kind of oil to give it some type of flavor. Well, now that your appetite is destroyed, we'll go on. Go on to the next one. Maybe it'll taste a little bit better than this one. Remember, barley. Well, maybe you want to forget barley. We'll see you on the next one.